right, folks, you know what time it is. It's mountain painting time. My favorite time of day. I got some pink made here. I got some random colors mixed up. I'm trying to come up with a different composition for this area down in here. But as usual, we're going to go ahead and start with some pink. I'm using a 1-inch brush right now. I made quite a bit. I think if this painting works out good, I might do another one after this, because I'll have some pink left over. Pink just, I use it all the time in my mountain paints. It just looks real good. I mean, to me. I would use yellow, but you can't mix yellow and blue. I mean, I could put a red streak in between them, if you know what I mean, but this pink looks fine. I like it. And I do have liquid white up here. You can see the line. This is dry. This up in here is not. This has liquid white on it. Liquid white helps your paints blend real nice if you don't know what it is. Phthalo blue's next. This is what I like to use. I always use liquid white in my sky, unless there's hardly no sky, but I always use it in the sky. It just causes your colors to blend together real good, but it also keeps your paint wet, and that's why I don't really like it down in here. It's wet on wet painting is what they call it. When you use liquid white and liquid clear, same thing. Just one's white, one's clear. Has any difference? Because sometimes you hear people say liquid clear, it's the same thing. This is Prussian blue right here. I want it a little bit darker at the top and in the corners. And Prussian blue is very dark. I really like it. I use it a lot. Let's take a look here a minute. I'm going to take a 2-inch brush and mix this up here in just a second. All right, let's get a 2-inch brush. See if I can find one that's bendable and clean. These things get stiff when they sit around too much. Of course, mine don't sit around much, but all right, let's start in the middle. We're going to do crisscross strokes. We're going to blend this up. We're going to stay out of that real dark blue for as long as we can. And the blues are going to mix, and that's okay. Doesn't hurt a thing. That's what we want. We want it to mix up. See how that's blending right there? That's what you want. That's what we're after. Now my mountains are going to be in here, so a lot of this you're not even going to see, but we got to do this anyway, regardless. I got my paper towels here in front of me that I'm continuously wiping this excess blue off. Because you do pick up a lot of blue, especially up here in this upper area here. You're going to pick up a lot of blue. Okay, I think that probably looks pretty good right there. Stand back and take a look. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I actually think I probably should have brought this down a little bit more right here, and I think I will right now while I can. I'm pretty sure mountains are going to be here. That looks a little better. Okay. Well, it's time for our mountains. I don't know how many I really want. I know I want at least 2. I want one further back, one closer. I may put 3. I'm not sure. Anyways, this is black Prussian blue with brown and a touch of alizarin crimson, only because I had it here. I took some of that, put it in this pile, added some white. This is for our furthest back mountain. You got to remember the distance. The further away something is, the lighter in color it typically is. Almost always. Let's try one, I don't know, right here maybe. It's been about a week or two. It may have been a couple weeks since I've done a mountain painting. I mean, you got to stay in practice. That's probably too long, really. I mean, I need to do one every week, but I have other paintings I got to do also. I can't just do mountains all the time. I think that might be okay right there. I know it don't look like much. We haven't pulled it out yet. Pulled the paint out. How about one right here? Let's do 3. All you're really concerned about is the top edge. You don't have to worry about this part down here too much. Just scrape off any excess paint that you have. And I got my paper towels right here. All right, let me find me a brush. I might use this same dirty one I had liquid. I might. You know what? I don't think I will. I change my mind. I change my mind all the time. I'm gonna get a clean one. Okay, let's pull this paint out and see what we have here. And just mix it up and blend it up as you're doing it. That's good. After I put my liquid white, and I can tell I've done this. After I put my liquid white on, I'll take a paper towel and I'll wipe it off, because man, you can put too much on, and I do sometimes, and man, I can tell. I mean, you don't want to put too much of it on. You get it too thick and it's really going to be sloppy. I've done that, trust me, everybody probably has that uses it. So now I just take a paper towel and just wipe it, whether it needs it or not. Okay, let's go ahead and put our big mountain in. Our big mountain is our close-up mountain, and therefore it gets the darker colors because it's closer up. And now we got to come up with some kind of a design. What do we want to do here? Gosh, I don't know. Let's make it. Try to do different, man, it's just so hard to come up with different things all the time. So sometimes our mountains kind of look the same, and sometimes that's okay. I'll bring this up a little higher right here. We're just trying to form some kind of a shape, is what we're after. Let's see here, let's bring this down. Let's see, I don't like that too well. So what we'll do is I'll probably add a hump right here. Let's just pull that out and see what that looks like. If I don't like it, I'll change it. I mean, that's what you got to do sometimes. Just pull all your paint out. Okay, let me see my knife a minute. I would like this to be a little more pointed. This one needs to come over a little more. That might be okay. I like pointed mountains. I'm not sure why. I just always do that. Yeah, that looks a little better right there. Just a little bit of something sticking out right there makes a difference, I think. Okay, let's pull this out. Sometimes it just takes something small to just make a big difference. And I like this better. Yeah, I do. I like this a lot better. Like I said, you just got to use your imagination, folks. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Imagination means a lot. And if you don't have one, that's okay, because I didn't either before I started painting. But you kind of develop one, if that makes any sense. I guess it's where you just paint, you know, if you paint a lot, you just kind of develop somewhat of an imagination. I mean, better than what you had before, I'll say that. Okay, we're going to start with the lighter color. This is brown and white's all this is. And so is this, but this is darker than this. This is for our further away mountains. And we're just going to go ahead and start putting some stuff on here. I call it topping. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. Starting here on the edge. See, and if you want your paint to break like that, you barely touch it. And that's really the secret. The secret is not thick paint. I hear people say that all the time. I use Winsor & Newton. It's just ordinary middle grade paint. There's no big secret about the paint. Now, you don't want runny paint. You can buy super cheap paint, and you don't want to do that. But the secret is not the paint. The secret is in how much pressure you're putting on your knife. You got to barely touch it, literally. That is the secret. It's not the paint. I don't care what people say. It's not. I'm telling you the truth. It's not the paint. Because Winsor & Newton, it's just middle grade paint. I like it because it's not really expensive. It's not cheap. Let's start on our big mountain right here. But that's the secret, is just barely touch it. And if you have, and I've said this a lot on my videos, if you have trouble making your paint break, another thing you can do is don't put liquid white up here, because you don't have to. It's not a rule. You can put it in the sky and don't put it on your mountains. I've got lots of paintings where I do that. Now the difference is it's not going to blend. It's not going to blend as nice, but that's the only difference. You can still get a nice mountain. I've done many, many, many mountains just like that. No liquid white at all. See, I'm telling you, I'm barely touching that. Yeah, you don't need no thick paint. Just an ordinary paint. I laugh when I hear people say that. And as I said now, I do have some paint that seems kind of runny. It's real cheap, super cheap paint that I hardly ever use. Now you can get something like that and it'd probably be bad. But you don't need to go buy some big expensive kind of paint or something. That's crazy. You don't need to do that. Unless you just like to waste your money. Most people don't, I don't think. Okay, let's take a look here a minute at this. Starting to talk too much. Let's see where this is going. Okay. Okay, that looks okay. Let me see something here. Let me bring this down just a little bit here in the front. Let me look. Got to stand back and you got to look and think. And I'm thinking, I need to put some right here. So far I like that. So far, now let's make us a shadow collar. I think I'm gonna add some white to this. Let's make sure I got enough. I'm trying to keep me some clean white here, man. I got so many collars on here. I just got done working on painting, and I'm probably gonna stick my fingers in something that I shouldn't here in a minute. Let's see what this, let me practice right here. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, that looks okay. Yeah, find you a practice spot, man. Just don't just stick it on here. Do a test first. Test it and see if you like it. Give me a clean spot on my towels here. Trying to get some right here. My knife don't seem to be wanting to touch this spot for some reason. Okay, I think that's okay right there. Let's go over here, and I want to use my little knife for this one spot. Okay, that's okay for now. Let me go ahead and get my little knife, which is right here, I think. And let me get this little spot right here while I have this paint mixed. It's not much, but you got to do it anyway. Okay, now for our next mountain. I'm going to keep using the same collar until I don't think it's going to work anymore, because it's just a little darker than the previous collar. Let's do a test. It's a little dark, I think. I'm mixing some white. I don't want it too dark. This looks more like a gray, don't it? Okay, I think that's all right. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I think that's all right. I want to get my little knife out for most of this, I think. This knife I got, yeah, see, it's too big right there. And that's okay. Yeah, this is more like a gray color. I like that. And you just got to play. You just mess around with it till you get it the way you want it. I always say that, and I'm serious. Just there's no certain rules of mixing. You just mix it till you feel like you got it the way you want it. Okay, let me get the little knife, which is right here in my bucket. Let's go ahead and finish this. Do some of this. Hit some of this. These spots aren't very big, but yeah, they're important. Okay, now I'm going to take some, let me set my palette down a minute. Make sure your knife is real clean, because it builds up some stuff. Because I want to take some white, pure white. As soon as I find me a spot, I'm going to take some pure white. And I might even put a touch of pink in it today. Not a ton, but a touch. You know, something different, man. Something different to look at. See, that has a touch of pink in it. And that's all we want. I want to skim the top of these a little bit. Just a real light coating. I like putting it up here on the peaks. For one thing, I think it looks good. And it's higher elevation. You typically have snow. And it gives it an extra color. Gives it an extra color. And that's important. That is important. But you don't want to overdo. I don't bring it all the way down. Let me put just a touch back here, just a touch. Okay. Just a touch. Don't overdo. Okay. I think that's looking pretty decent. Let me go around. Let me go around and check some spots here. Let me put some. We don't want straight lines. I'm going to try to break up any kind of straight lines that I see. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to, anything that looks straight, I don't want it. And I'm just looking around for spots. Okay, let's stand back and take a look here. Okay, well, I'm back. I just misted this up a little bit right here. It's just, which is no big deal. And while I was doing that, I went ahead and tried to get my sketch back. And I'm not sure this is, I'm just going to have to kind of wing it because I'm not sure that's exactly what I want. But, you know, it's just, we'll do something with it. I'm not sure yet what. I'm just going to put some, I want this to be more of an autumn feel. I want more of a golden color grass if I can get it. And I probably can if I work hard enough at it. So I'm just going to, I don't really know what I want to have here yet. I think some pine trees probably. Just throw a little brown. I wished I had some sienna, man. Why do I not have sienna on my palette? I think I'm talking to myself. Anyway, why don't I have sienna on my palette? This is just our bottom coating anyway. We'll go over it again. But you gotta have something down. I might as well just go ahead and do it this way. With this brown right in here. And as it comes to the foreground, let's see here. I know I want it dark down in here. I'm kind of thinking as I'm going here. Let's see, yellow ochre, brown. Let's throw some crimson, alizarin crimson. Let's throw some red in here. I got some, I need to use it somewhere. Why not? Put some spice in it. Put some spice in our life. Just don't want too much spice, if you know what I mean. This area here, I'll put some raw umber, which is really dark. Because I think I'm going to have some background trees along the bottom here, which I typically do. So I'll just run that up there. I'll put some real umber right here too, because this is dark. And I'm going to take my brush here in a second and I'm going to mix all this up like I usually do. I'll put some raw umber in these corners. I got to use it up anyway. I don't like wasting nothing. Stuff costs money, man. I don't want to waste anything. Especially canvases. I waste one or two every once in a while. I'll do a painting and man, it just turns out so bad. I mean, sometimes I only do half of it and I realize this ain't going to work. And I just have to waste. I can't fix it. Sometimes I can fix them. And other times I just cannot. And I just give up and I just start over. Now I don't like to waste a canvas because those are expensive. Paint is too, but canvases, as much as I paint, they get expensive, let me tell you. Let me go ahead and hit this a lick. See, I like that tone of color right there. This is somewhat of a kind of a river thing, I guess. And I'm probably going to wipe this off once I get done here, just to get the excess paint off. Let me go ahead and throw some water in while I'm at it, while I'm resting, so to speak. I'm going to take some of this white. Yeah, I do have blue on my brush, by the way. Too much, probably. Let's see how much yeah, that's way too much blue. I was trying not to dirty up another brush already. I get all my brushes dirty, I'll be in trouble. So let's start with some white, just pure white. I'm gonna throw some pure white. As you can see, it's not actually pure white with blue in it. But that's as good as we can do right now. I want some pink in it. You can't see it very well, but I know it's there. Let me go ahead and get as close as I can to some of these edges here. Let's see, let's start to darken it up a little bit. This is mountain color from this big mountain. It's just dark. That's probably too dark, but that's okay for now. Just a little lighter, not much. All right, let me find my granddaughter's brush, which is my favorite brush for making background trees such as this. And I am going to take some black, some sap green, black, sap green, and I am going to start putting in some background trees. Black, sap green. I don't know, I'm going to put them on down through here because I don't know what we're going to see and what we're not. I'm kind of winging it, as I say, like I do a lot of times, so I'm not sure yet what we're going to put in some of this area. I may not even like that, and I kind of don't right now, but let's just see what happens. You want some big, some small. You don't want them the same size. Let's see here. Yeah, you got to mount these background trees. Really make a difference. I mean, I like them. I think they do a lot for mount painting. I really do. Some big, some small, some dark, some light. You don't want them all the same. Like I say, I don't know. You know, you might have a big pine tree right here. I don't know yet. I just haven't thought of that far ahead. I just kind of do things step by step. Now, I do think ahead, don't get me wrong. But sometimes I have to take time, stand back and look at it and see, make a plan. So now that we've got those in, let's put a little bit of highlight on them. Clean this brush just a little bit. Let's go for some cad yellow light. I got a little bit here. And I just want, you know, the sun's coming down this way. We just want something. We don't want to make it all crazy looking. It's just a little collar, just something. It don't have to be brilliant and stand out. It just needs to be something here. You know, you just don't want black trees. Not normally. And I'm going to go ahead and do these. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to have in front, but while we're doing it, I'm going to go ahead and finish it. Let me get me a reflecting making brush, which is a clean brush. That's what I call it. If you can make reflections with it, it's clean. Clean me off a spot here. My paper towels. I typically hold my paper towels while I'm doing this because I like to wipe it off after every stroke. Okay, that don't look too bad. Let me get me a knife. Let's go ahead and put our water line in. I just see my knife down here. It's buried in my bucket. Nope, that's the wrong knife. Here's my big knife. Just get some white. It can have a little blue in it. It's fine. It don't make no difference. Let's make us a water line. Okay, let's make it bring it over a little bit. I don't think I want to do something with this. I don't like that too well. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'll figure it out. All right, I've started putting in some grass. I'm just trying to feel my way through this and see what kind of collars that I want and I need. I got a pretty good sized brush here, man. Of course, there's a lot of area to cover. I typically don't use a brush quite this big. This is a number 8 fan brush. It's a big one. But I got to throw something in here and this is a pretty big area. Let's see what we can do here. Let's bring this on down. I wipe this brush off sometimes. It's getting muddy. I did wipe this off, this first coating. I did wipe it off with a shop towel. But this type of brush is so big, it kind of makes a mess sometimes. So we'll just have to work with it. Might have to go over it again. I don't know. Well, I definitely want it brighter here at the top. Yeah, it's a little brown. I've been throwing brown in. I mean, I got a real mess going here, don't I? Some green. I want it to have a fall feel to it. So we got browns, greens, ochres. Just whatever we feel like throwing in, whatever we think will look good. It's just trial and error sometimes. These are colors I typically do not put in the grass. Browns and things like that, but it doesn't look too bad. It's just an experiment, you know. You don't know if something works till you try it. There's no better place to try it than on camera while you're being watched, right? Actually, there probably is a better place to experiment than that. Let's do some Prussian blue here in this corner. Probably along this bottom. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just wanted to put this grass in. I'm not sure, still not sure what we're gonna put in some of these areas. We'll think of something. I'm sure there's going to be pine trees for sure. There always is. But other than that, I'm just not 100% sure yet. So we're just kind of feeling our way through it. We'll get there. Well, one thing for sure we need, and that is pine trees. So let's go ahead and try to strategically put some where we think we need it. I think I'm going to put one right here. Small one, isn't it? Put one right here. I don't know, man. We're just trying to figure this out. I think I need one here. I need one there. I'm going to put one right here on this ridge. Right here. Okay, we just have to figure out where we want things. Probably right here. These do not have to be big. Do not have to be big. Let's see, one might be okay, I don't know. I thought of one there. Well, okay. I guess there's going to be one here since I've already done this, huh? I think it's better. Let me scrape some of that wet paint off of there. Especially down in here. I think I can get by with scraping a lot of this off. And I just got to make sure my pine tree covers it, but I'm pretty sure it probably will. I don't want a bunch of slop on there. You can even take a towel and wipe it down a little bit if you want. See, 'cause it's still wet. Big time. Now, sometimes I will wait a day. I just can't today, but I have been painting my mountains and just letting the painting sit around for a day or two or a couple days, and that way when I come back and put my pine trees on, I have no problem with wet paint. That's perfectly fine to do it that way. Because wet paint is not your friend, let me tell you. When you're trying to put stuff on top of wet paint, that is not your friend. Anything but. Wet paint does not like you. Or me. Okay, that don't look bad there. That looks like that probably belongs. I got 4 trees. Let's put one right. Just for the sake of doing it, we'll put one right here. I'm trying to fill in this area with stuff. Okay, that don't look too bad. I think I might need another pine tree right here in this corner. And I can probably put rocks, maybe bushes, a stump to fill up this particular spot. Let me wipe that off again. Almost forgot. I think pretty sure I need one right here. Maybe this should be a lot bigger. You just got to make sure you cover it up. Whatever you're scraping off, you got to cover it back up. Yeah, I could make this one taller. Let's take our shop towel. Let's wipe some of this off. Oh, I can tell by using this shop towel, man, this is so caked on there. Of course, I should know, I'm the one that caked it on. All right. So we want this one to be bigger than that one. Let's bring this one up right here. Let's see what we can do. It kind of frames in your picture when you put things along the edges. Because you want people's eyes to be drawn typically to the center of your painting. And this usually does it when you can bring stuff up around the edges, and that's why you make your corners dark a lot of times too. I mean, there's reasons that you do certain things. Not only for distance in the sky, but it darkens the corners to draw people's eye to the center. Yeah, I think that's good. That's looking better. Yep. All right, let's go ahead. We're on the final stretch. Let's go ahead and highlight these 2 trees right here. I've already highlighted these on the right. Put some bushes in. This is just cad red light. You put your black down first, cad red light, and then some white on top of that. So, I got a paper towel in one hand, a brush in the other. Let's go ahead and see what kind of stuff we can do here. This is how I highlight trees. There's lots of different ways to do it. You can use a fan brush or just whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. I just choose to do it this way because I like it, and basically that's the only reason. I have done it the other way before. I just don't do it very often. Yeah, you can take a fan brush and put some yellow on it and do it like that if you'd like. I just, for some reason, like this way. I'm just basically touching the outside and just twisting my brush because I see it picks up so much black or darkness, not necessarily black. And you have to keep reloading it. But I just prefer, I like this way of doing it. Looks like the sun is just kissing certain parts of it. And we got this little doohickey back in here. If I get the paint to come off the brush. All right, folks, I think that might be about it. All right, folks, it looks like a wrap. I like it. I think it turned out pretty well. It's something a little different, and that's what we always try to shoot for. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching.